Why did he drive this far to get butter chicken? And I'll tell you the story. Apparently, he had a craving. It was 11 o'clock, and this was the only Indian store that was open at that time for him to be able to get it.
Okay.
So that's why he left, and then he made this big journey. And the funny thing is, the social media was going crazy trying to find out which Indian shop it was. And Melbourne's full of trendy restaurants, and there was this trendy Indian restaurant that everyone was just like, "Oh, it's got to be this restaurant. It's got to be this restaurant." And then they were like, "We want to find whoever this butter chicken guy is." And then it turns out it was just like a run-of-the-mill Indian restaurant. And they, I think, offered the guy like free butter chicken for a year to basically pay for his fine.
Wow. So there you go. So it wasn't even like, this is stellar butter chicken. It was like, this is a last resort butter chicken. Like, I just need it. Was the dude pregnant? That is a hell of a hankering if he's going at 11 o'clock at night to get that chicken.
I got to admit, butter chicken's amazing when you want it, but if you don't get the right butter chicken, if you get some of there's some stores that are questionable, that butter chicken's going to run right through you. So that chicken not only cost him $1,500, but probably will stay in your system for about 20 minutes. That's it.
Okay, maybe we can finish with this. I want to throw this quickly at you guys. What is the one food you would drive 100 Ks to go pick up? Ooh. Like, it's like, this is my be-all, end-all meal. What are you going to go 100 Ks for?
I recently, the funny thing about this is I recently moved, as you guys know, and there's a pizza shop around the corner from my house that I love. That pizza shop, if it wasn't a kilometre away, if it was 100 kilometres away, I'd still go there. It's that good. In fact, I haven't had it in so long. I've got to go have it. But that's what I will go. This particular pizza shop.
I heard about this pizza shop as well, and actually when I went to Max's place, he ordered pizza from a different pizza shop, and the hype that he built on this particular pizza shop, I think I'd say the same. I drive 100 Ks for whatever this pizza shop is because he really talked it up.
Oh, okay. There you go. Marcus, the pizza hype man.
Yeah.
I think it would be Leonard's hot tender chicken. If anybody lives in Melbourne, go to Leonard's Chicken, get some gravy and cheese fries. I would drive 100 Ks for that for sure. It's some good stuff.
Yeah. They're good. They're spicy though, and they always unsettle my stomach, but they are tasty.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, in this guy's situation, anyway, I think he just needs to respect his parents' wishes. If they're feeling like, you know what I mean? Like, if they feel like he's putting himself out too much.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
I was just laughing at it. It's like, look, just to answer this guy's question, just respect your parents, all right? They don't want to see you, just leave it be, all right?
That's right.
Like, they brought you into this world, all right? If they say stay at home, save your money, they're giving you good advice there. Just do it.
They're looking out for you.
Yeah.
I think that's fair enough. Let's leave it there for Zane then. Now, I want to go next so Damien has like the least choice to choose from, and I'm going to take one that I know is probably one of the more popular ones. So I'm going to go with Harry Styles.
You mother. No,
so Damien can pick the last one. I mean, you could be Googling, but I'd rather you just sort of not.
I only knew two, and you've taken them both from me, you asshole.
All right. So this one's going to come from Harry Styles, and Harry Styles writes in, what is good apartment etiquette? I live alone in a one-bedroom apartment right on the corner of this particularly heavily trafficked intersection located in the centre of my complex. Anyway, I've noticed that my doors were fiddled with. Someone tried to break into my doors, but were unsuccessful. I've since put up the necessary security measures to prevent any future attempts. In my opinion, it's pretty secure. However, this has rattled me, and I feel obligated to let my neighbours know without being too panic-stricken about it. There is particularly one girl, a female tenant, who lives across from me in a studio by herself. She seems vulnerable, but I've kept my distance from her. I don't want to creep her out, nor do I want her to feel like I'm hitting on her. I'm loyal and respectful in this regard, but at the same time, I am distant and closed off to her in all other respects. I'm thinking of putting a letter in an envelope on not only her doors, but the other neighbours' doors, introducing myself and giving them my card, or a card with basic info like a number, an email, and a first name. Content of which will be very neutral, objective, and professional in tone and manner. Just here is my contact info. Reach out if you want to, but I am not asking you to. Is this appropriate? I feel like I need to protect this tenant across from me by indirectly suggesting for her to be vigilant and aware of her surroundings without raising any alarms. Harry Styles.
I love this question, mainly because I like to think, what sort of security measures has he got up? Like, I like to think he's done the Home Alone trick where he's put like a bag of feathers and a fan behind the door and some tar, and he's just like, as soon as someone tries to break in, bam, they turn into a chicken.
Sticky bandits.
Yeah, sticky bandits.
They turn into a chicken.
Yeah.
I always felt like that was the least, like the worst of his traps. Like, if someone's planning to rob your house, I don't think a bit of tar and feathers is going to stop them. It's like, great, you gave me a disguise now. The police aren't going to recognize a
Nobody's
chicken.
looking for the big chicken.
once I get clean.
Give Kevin McAllister some credit. He was basically, that's like a warning sign to be like, fuck off, there are worse things coming. I'm going to be throwing bricks at you in a couple of minutes.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? He can't just sort of get really, really aggressive. He's got to build to it.
That is such a good point, because I think if the police report just showed they opened the door and 10 kilos of bricks dropped on their head, they'd be like, well, that's just manslaughter. Kevin, you're going to jail for a long time. Whereas if they see the escalation in the police report, it's like, well, he warned them 3 times.
Yeah,
He
right,
warned.
right.
He did. Wasn't his first attack like the like hot coal the door
hot door
handle that
handle.
was on fire?
The hot door handle.
I mean, that's pretty bad. And then it was like tar and feathers. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, that's
He's like
besides the
straight
point.
up electrocution.
He gives him the
I'm
chair.
surprised the web bandits.
him
I'm
the
surprised
chair
they survived as long as they did. Yeah.
Kevin
No trial.
McAllister is judge, Judy, and executioner.
So this guy wants to be the hero of the apartment complex. He wants to save particularly this young person across the road from him. He's not really, he says that he cares about everyone else, but he thinks that she's the vulnerable one. Like he's singled her out as being the weak link, you know, and wants to save her.
It does kind of feel like this guy thinks he's kind of like, he probably doesn't, but I'm kind of getting like Bruce Wayne vibes from this guy, kind of having like his eye on a particular girl, like looking out for her, and also doing, I mean, I guess he's doing it in the right way in that he's like trying to become acquainted with everybody, but at the same time, I don't know, if I got a letter like that in my letterbox, I'd probably just throw it straight in the bin, if I'm going to be honest.
Probably, yeah.
Look, he sounds like he's got a bit of white knight syndrome. All right, he wants to be
No,
the
you mean
hero.
no. It's Dark Knight syndrome.
The Dark Knight.
Please,
Yeah,
Marcus.
Dark Knight
Dark Knight syndrome. Okay, Dark Knight syndrome. But it seems like he's just wanting, like, I want to be the hero. Like, you can call me. What are you going to do? You're not a fucking cop. You're not a security guard. What are you going to do?
Well,
like,
This is his origin story.
yeah, well, all right, Bruce. But, like, you're right. If I got that letter in the mail and said, hey, please call me, I don't want your number. I don't want any of that. I might prank call you. I might order some like 400 serves of butter chicken to your door, but I'm not gonna call you when there's a break-in attempt or anything like that.
Yeah, it's like, do I dial 000 for the police, or do I ring Kevin from across the hall to come help me?
yeah, right. You can. There's one that's 3 digits and one that's like 9 digits. Which one are you going to do? The thing is, I guess, like if you knew your neighbors, like Marcus, if someone was trying to break into me while we were living next door to each other, and I was to tell you and warn you or warn the other neighbors, that would be okay because you know your neighbors. But the real issue here is that he doesn't know them, and he doesn't want to seem like he wants to do the right thing, but he doesn't want to seem too confronting, and he doesn't want to seem like he's got an ulterior motive. So I sort of feel bad for Harry in this situation.
I tend to agree, but I think, look, he wants to be the hero sort of thing, and I think he's just going about it the wrong way. I think, firstly, singling out the girl across the road, like, if she's a single woman staying in an apartment, telling her there's been break-ins is just going to scare the fuck out of her. Like if you told her explicitly, like I would imagine, like if my partner was in an apartment by herself and she heard that, that'll freak her out. But secondly, I think what he could also do, it's an apartment complex. Print out a piece of paper that just says, hey, we've seen some break-ins lately, or someone attempted to break into my apartment, just keep an eye out, and put that on the, like, when everyone walks in, they see that, okay, I'm warned. They don't need your number. They don't need any of that. They just be, okay, I'm aware.
I don't know. I think I disagree with that. I think even if someone was living by themselves, that would be more reason to tell them. Like, I think you'd want to tell the landlord, you want to get the word out there, because then, let's just say the person breaking in is maybe one of the other tenants. They'll at least know, be like, hey, somebody's keeping an eye on you. Like, you might be living right next door to the Joker and have no idea. You know what I mean? So I think if they know that somebody's on their case and watching them and are aware of what's going on, it might stop them from continuing what they're doing.
I guess the real problem is, like, he wants to assert himself introduce himself as like a non-threatening person before he can provide the helpful advice. Otherwise, it would seem like he's probably just he's meddling in other people's affairs.
Did I miss here? Did he kind of have a crush on the single woman? Is that what he said? Or like...
No, he didn't. He didn't say anything about it. He basically just said he doesn't want to creep her out. He doesn't want to feel like he's hitting on her. He's loyal and respectful, but he's closed off. He's just like looking out for her.
Given like what's going on with everything now at ISO, it kind of feels like now would be the time to send out that letter, because I have seen, I've seen stories on the news of people who are like, oh, you know, this whole street they have a Pilates morning and everybody comes out in the street and does Pilates, or like they have a dress up day and everyone puts on an outfit when they go put their bins out. So like now would be, I think, that time where making that connection with your neighbors wouldn't seem out of place. But when I'm watching those news stories, I'm like, man, in what world do these people live in? In my street, I don't think Half the people don't even wave at each other when they walk out the front. It's just like everyone's heads down. You bring your bin out, you go back inside. Nobody's having a Pilates party at the front of their driveway. You know what I mean?
I was gonna ask them, like, would you go to a Pilates party in your street or anything like? I mean, I recently moved in, and I'm actually starting to get to know some of the neighbors. Like, I can't remember their names to save my life, but they're all nice. They're all waving. They're all really friendly. Like, I'm like, in all the previous houses that I've lived in, granted, I've lived in a party house in all those previous houses. None of my neighbors came and said, hello, how you going? This one here, I'm in with
Because they all hated you.
Yeah, they all hated
exactly.
us.
You guys were the worst house on the block.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but they didn't know that from the get go.
True.
That's the thing. This is from the get go. They were like, it was a completely different vibe. Whereas now, I know my neighbor next door. I know the neighbor across the street. They're nice people. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do Pilates with them, but I'd say hello to them. That's probably about as far as I go. But yeah.
I don't think I would be getting my squat on, but I think I would do the neighbor thing of like walking out just to with the arms crossed, just having a peer around down the street, seeing what's going on. That's about it.
Yeah. Harry, then, what do you suggest that Harry does? Does he get involved, or does he just mind his own business? Does he get involved with just one? Does he involve himself with everyone?
I like to. Sorry, Damien.
No,
Well,
you
there's
go,
a
you go.
hand system, Marcus, believe it or not.
Yeah. Well, no hand was up. No hand was up on my screen. But I was just gonna say.
Oh, the police are driving through my street right now.
They're checking you out. They know they're onto you, Damien. The cops are onto you.
Do you know what's weirder that I had drive down my street the other day? The ice cream man. I'm not even joking.
Okay.
I heard the music play. I'm like, that's not the ice cream man, is it? And the dude went out in the street, and I thought about getting an ice cream, but then I'm like, we're like in the middle of the winter. It's like 8 degrees today. I do not feel like an ice cream.
It's like, dude, read the room. Okay, read the room. This is not the time.
Hey, Mr. Whippy needs to support his own family, guys. All right, he needs to put food in his kids' mouths. All right, it can't be that ice cream all the
not
time.
just ice cream.
Yeah.
I actually heard Mrs. Whippy left him recently, so no good for Mr. Whippy at the moment.
What I think he could do is this is what's his name? Billy. What's his name? Harry Styles. He could totally.
Oh, Jesus.
Billy Ray Styles.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, One Direction, Billy Ray.
Billy Ray. You know, he's a good dude. Anyway, Harry could, like I said, I strongly think that you don't need to put a letter in everyone's mailboxes with your number. You can put a letter in everyone's mailbox to say, hey, I've noticed this. And it puts, if someone in that complex is trying to break in, it puts them on high alert. They're not to do it and they keep an eye out, whatever. Another alternative is, like I said, put a piece of paper, less work, put a piece of paper just on that entrance saying, hey, I've noticed this. Keep an eye out. You don't need your number on there. Like you're not a
that's
hero.
true.
That's it. Your good Samaritan is letting people know.
Maybe there's like a complex pin board or something like that where all the mailboxes are. Maybe you can put that there. There's a communal space where everyone looks and just put a warning up there. I think that would be my advice. Just don't need to get personally involved unless he says that he's he doesn't want to he's not trying to hit on her. Unless he is trying to hit on her, I think you should go a different way about it and maybe try and be more natural and not sort of trying to be the hero to be like, and so she's like the damsel in distress. You don't know. She might know kung fu. She might be fine.
It might be Ronda Rousey. You don't know. Like you
could
would know
be,
it's Ronda
yeah,
Rousey,
right.
but she could be an MMA fighter that you just don't know. And then you go to be a hero, and she's already got him in the sleeper hole. That's it. Done.
Right. Go to sleep.
It would be kind of amazing if she was the one trying to break into his house. As soon as he tells her, she just shivs him. It's like no witnesses.
I think that's enough. Let's leave that there for Harry Styles. Now, Damien, you're going to go next with your favourite One Direction member.
Oh, my favourite is the heartthrob Niall Horan.
Oh,
is that how you pronounce it?
Niall? I believe he's Irish of the bunch. Is that true? I mean, what's his favourite colour, Damien? If you're a true Directioner.
I'm a big fan of his, and to both those questions, you got it. Anyway, my question comes in from Niall Horan, and they write in, bed troubles. I've been dating my boyfriend for 3 years, but only visited his apartment this week. I was amazed to see in his bedroom there is no bed. Instead, there's a huge pile of clothes in the middle of the room. My boyfriend said it's his nest and he sleeps in it. I could not believe this. He showed me how he does it, and he kind of curls up in the middle in a ball and piles some of the clothes and towels on top of him.
Oh my God.
Look, I thought it was odd, but I tried to sleep with him anyway. I found it very uncomfortable and also noticed it smelled, so I went to sleep on the sofa. In the morning, my boyfriend confronted me and said, "Why do you hate my nest?" I told him his nest stinks, and he said he doesn't wash the clothes because he doesn't wear them. They are just, as he put it, nesting materials. He said if we were going to take the next step and move in together, I would need to accept the nest. I said if we move in together, we're getting a bed. He said he would rather